Alright, hello everybody, it is I, Marais, and here we are back with another episode of Let's Play Assassin's Creed. Alright, so we have a couple trainings to do. New stuff that we got, so we're going to do the staggering strike here first.
I will keep the peace.
Hold A for a staggering strike.
An excellent showing. An excellent showing.
Easy enough.
Well done. Keep practicing and you'll be unstoppable.
Nice little attack that we got there. Back to the database to tutorials. So we have the strong attack next.
Let's begin. Bravo. Bravissimo.
Alright. You gotta do it against two targets.
Of all the... Oh, help with me, you slit! Bravo. Bravissimo.
This guy's got some health.
Shit! After him!
Hey. Wait, what? Baloney. What did that game just do to me? I gotta start over from the beginning, probably.
Get him! Damn it! Let's see the color of his blood.
Excellent. With a knack for this.
I'm always up for a little light exercise.
Let's get him back over here.
Don't let him breathe. Stay on him. Flank the bastard!
practicing.
They took a lot of reduced damage, it felt like. Alright, well I think that's all we got. Yeah, looks like it. Alright, so we still have to do one more time on that co-op mission. We've only got 2 out of the 3, so we need to play this one more time to get the 3rd reward. So let's just get that out of the way.
Paris, 1792. The city is starving.
Alright, 3rd time.
Find Marais and secure the food supply. Marais sent the assassins a message, but she went after the Templars alone. You need to catch up to her.
There's a woman
We're gonna go back inside here like we did last time. At least it's not blowing out my eardrums this time like it was last time.
Real patriots!
I do not have my sword equipped, do I? 'Cause I'm doing significantly less damage.
I think Marais dropped this. She's probably nearby.
Sad when you figure that out. Oh, I don't have the right weapon equipped because I'm not killing people in like 2 hits.
Revolutionary bastard! Get him! What the? Damn body bag.
Maybe that's why I had so much issue with the trading fight. Hi.
gone on.
Un acrobate, c'est comme ça.
That's it. I've got Marais' location.
Excellent. That's not what we need to do.
Won't be much use left to bury. What's that bad? Son of a... Die!
That guy's sitting up even. Alright, well, there's our medicine back that we just used.
Hey, what are you doing in here?
I didn't think the assassins would get here so fast.
Easy peasy. Now let's see how fast she walks this time. Or not at all.
Well, that was unfortunate. The bastards found me as I was trying to get out. Now they'll be watching for us. It means we have to move quickly. I've been tracing this group for more than a month. They've been stealing carts all over the countryside. People are saying the farmers are hoarding food and fixing prices, but it's not them. The National Assembly wouldn't believe me when I said there was something else at work. They tried setting a grain price to solve the problem, but I've got the name of the woman behind it all. Madame Flavigny. Supposedly, she's a couturière with a shop in Leal. She's not a couturière. I'm glad someone is finally taking an interest in helping.
Sorry,
I can't take
didn't want to
all
sneeze
of her
into the
agents
mic.
by myself.
They're all gone. Except for that guy.
I did specify quietly, didn't I?
Yeah, he's gonna get me.
Well,
Man, she just took off that time.
looks like you could use some help.
She gets shot or something, she lost a bit of health.
Hey, you there! Stop! I've got you!
Keep the gas from me.
She is not fighting as well this time as she did the other 2 times.
This way. Take them out quietly.
And get rid of the gunners.
Come back here!
I was sort of hoping we wouldn't be noticed.
I can't see when to parry from this angle.
need to make sure that food gets back to the people. You'll find Flavigny and her thugs in the marketplace. Good luck.
Oh, well, there's our medicine back that we just used.
Hey, c'est distrayant.
What was that?
going on?
Come here, you! Je le tiens.
Que peut-il se passer?
Serait-ce une espèce de jeu?
Looks like Flavigny isn't here yet. I'd start by shutting down some of her pals.
Good deal.
Vous appartenez au passé.
Where's this one?
Hey, you want some fun? Well,
I can make sure that doesn't happen again. You're asking for the brand.
come here! I'll mash you like an old potato!
I just want him to start walking.
Murderous scum! I'll smash that ugly dog! I see you! You die now!
My timing is off today for some reason.
Nous imposerons la justice!
Well, I'm sure we'll get it all figured out here soon.
Nous souffrons depuis des siècles!
With my timing, that is.
Je vous souhaite la bienvenue.
Almost done with this mission.
Bonjour à vous, monsieur. Don't! Try and ditch me, corpse! There you are! You can't escape!
Let's do this.
Got him!
All done. Time to get out of there.
You're in the way!
You're mine. You can't hide.
Nice work.
Easy enough.
AmeriCorps will make sure this food gets to those who need it.
And that gets our last reward from that mission. Now it's time to go get more collectibles. What it's really about for Assassin's Creed games. All right, let's go get this cockade.
Un excellent moyen de...
We can let that money sit for a bit.
Je préférerais ne pas mélanger nos deux sangs.
There now, what do you want then? Whose side are you on? What exactly are you accusing me of?
Fred, how are
Alright, so how many, let's see, we have like 13 chests to get here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we still have to find quite a few more. Which means we just need to run around with our eagle vision on.
bonne idée, certes, mais...
I doubt we'll find another one in this direction, but we'll see. Anytime that, you know, Arno wants to climb.
Errez à l'aventure, à la merci. What gives you the right? I see how it is. You want some?
So that stuff is in this district.
Hey, listen
Et
to
pour
me.
quelques pièces, vous pourriez me satisfaire votre... Je parie qu'il a bu.
What was this? Piece of paper? Yeah. Okay, a fistful of duelers. We'll go do this mission.
Why the rush? I
in here. Let's see anything.
Woohoo! Over here. I am the Chevalier Deon, master swordsman, diplomat, and sometimes spy. Do not be confused by my attire. I simply prefer to clothe myself in female garb.
It is a little confusing.
You are an assassin. I'm hoping you can help me, but first, I'd like to ensure that you're the man for the job. There are several swordsmen who will test your acumen. Challenge each of them and draw first blood. And watch you don't step on my dress.
Okay, we did a fight 5 duelers. So we have Le Chevalier Deon, a character who prompted the first major historical debate on sex and gender. Was he the Chevalier or was she the Chevalier? This not-so-secret agent spent 49 years dressed as a man and 33 dressed as a woman. 49 years as a man, but only 33 years as a woman. The bloody gender divide strikes again. In an age where dressing up was all the rage, Charles de Beaumont, Chevalier Deon, slight of build, made his cross-dressing debut at a costume ball. Louis XV noticed him and realized that a seemingly pretty woman would be much easier to deploy as a spy than a mustachioed hussar. Deon was promptly dispatched on a spying mission to Russia, equipped with a farthingale and cascade wig. He listened at doors and stole a few documents with such dexterity that the king decorated him with the Order of St. Louis. I long for the days when spying was just wearing a wig and listening at doors. In July of 1789, following the taking of the Bastille, he sent a letter to the French National Assembly offering to lead a division of female soldiers, but sadly nothing came of it. A skilled swordsman, Deon regularly challenged fencers to friendly duels, betting them that they would be unable to defeat a woman. This proved to be remunerative. I'm not so sure on that word.
But of course, my friend, a duel it is.
I'll serve as a second to both of you.
Bloody counter-revolutionary! Stop! A hit, well fought. You are the victor. We have a champion.
All right.
Disons simplement que certains endroits de Paris ont des murs sombres.
Oh my, a duelist, are we? How amusing. This man will judge the hits. I have an appointment presently, but this shan't take much time.
Citizen, you there, hold.
Oh, enough! Leave me alone!
Easy enough.
Coward.
We are switching districts, though.
Duel you? Preposterous. Oh, very well.
I will oversee the contest. He who draws first blood wins.
I could use a bit of practice.
Bloody revolutionary bastard!
A hit! The challenger wins!
I will not yield.
Cease! The fight is over!
Rubbish! To the death!
You traitors, die!
All right.
J'imagine.
We're just putting this up in case we need to reveal anything that we need to loot later. over to the next duelist we go.
I accept your challenge, upstart. A duel it is. I shall be your second, Alphonse.
I'll adjudicate.
I was first in my class at the School of Gentlemen Cadets. Indeed he was, and well deserved.
I will keep the peace.
Bastards, take that! I shall never yield!
Stop, this is highly irregular.
You can't defeat Alphonse!
I believe I just did. Hotel de Sully. In 1634, the Duc de Sully, a fairly dashing 74-year-old, expanded his townhouse to include a building at the bottom of a small garden, which still today juxtaposes as the Place des Vosges, then the Palace Royal. By now a tad senile, he was known to prance about under the square's arcades wearing outdated jewelry. Meanwhile, his wife, who was 50 years his junior, went from one lover to the next. It was from the terrace of this hotel that Madame de Sévigné and her friends watched the poisoner and alleged sorceress Catherine de Chaines, known as La Voisin, being carted away to be burned at the stake at the Place de la Grève on November the 10th of 1680. It was also while coming out of the same hotel that young Voltaire, already the darling of the Parisian society, was set upon by the servants of the nobleman Chevalier de Rohan. Who later had him imprisoned at the Bastille. They had quarreled over an actress. Voltaire was later cleared and received an annuity of 1,200 livres. Oh, I'm back where we started. That's nice. We have to duel him last.
Surprised? As a final test, you must match yourself against the best.
I'll adjudicate.
I am one of Europe's greatest swordsmen. Or swordswomen, for that matter. Bravo! You have bested the best. You need bend your
Swing before they even started.
Man or woman.
Easy enough. Alright, we're gonna make our way this way towards this cockade, and we'll keep looking for more lootables. Really, the goal with the lootables is to cover as much distance, or as much ground as possible while having the Eagle Vision. We're just checking in here really quick so I know that I've checked up this way.
Here, brother.
I'm not seeing anything. So we still have a lot of chests to get. There's 6 on the map, which means you still have like 5 to find, but these aren't huge, you know, regions, so it shouldn't be that hard for us to find them. just keep heading south. Wait for this to recharge. Aha, there's a chest that just popped up.
L'important est de se... 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
This is the 3. Oop, a little too early on that one. Yeah, I got these so well yesterday. Again, my timing is just off today. There we go. How far over could I go? Still be this district. Yeah, we just want to make sure we're revealing as much as the map as possible while under eagle vision.
Why so fast?
Get out of here. We are now an advanced enforcer.
Viens à la Madeleine, empilé avec tes compères.
Alright, so now we want to head over this way. See, right now we're not technically in the district. You are just walking. No, I wanted you to go in that window. Thank you. Alright, well, here's another one. Well, some. Ooh. There we go. And it looks like we had found a murder mystery. hot chocolate to die for. So after we get all the chests, we'll come back and do that. Let's go south.
Come back here with that! Thief! Oui! C'est ça! Continue! Vas-y, achève-le! Mon Dieu! Méfiez-vous de la colère du peuple!
Easy enough. We're just gonna keep going.
Ils l'ont bastonné sur le moindre motif. Ils sont toutes comme ça. Tu ne peux rien.
Aha, there's a chest. I guess I forgot to refill my lockpicks at that merchant. Ooh. Getting freaked out a little bit when that popped up. I don't know if these blue ones count towards my chest collection. I guess I could collect one to find out, can't I? Yeah, it didn't look like it did.
You asked for this.
there's a red one that just popped up too, so that's nice. Up further. There we go. So we should have, what, one more chest? No. It's in the other room. Oh, and there's our last chest that just popped up.
Get over! Under it, Bill!
Come on, this is a slow one even. All right. Let's go pick up our money down here before I forget about it and it fills up.
Sleep well, sir.
We're getting up there, money-wise. Okay, so we have 2 missions. Let's go do this Nostradamus mission. And then is the Austrian conspiracy the next one? The Infernal Machine is the next one. Where's that one at? It's over there. Protecting Napoleon. We haven't even met Napoleon. Well, after we get the other missions done here, we'll go over to that other area, start getting those collectibles, so we can work towards that next mission.
J'espère que tu sais ce que tu fais.
Scorpio. At the foot of the Saint Twin Brothers, the Tree of Justice plunges its ancient rods, scarred by heavenly wrath. I think that's this tree. Sanctuary of Bishops by birth. I didn't read the rest of that. Sanctuary of Bishops by birth, stronghold of knowledge for life, the stony edifice, fools his senses by its name. What's near here? It's stony edifice. I don't remember which church this was. It probably isn't even this church. Okay, so there's a building. Here. The hotel descends.
Troublemaker, are you?
Grâce que nous. Sûrement évadé d'un asile.
You're holding out on me. It's your... À l'odeur.
Should we get close?
Stop right there! You're trying to muscle into my domain! You whoreson! Where are you off to, Pellet?
There it is. I would have not found this. A square with a shifting name replaced a field where Sovereign was felled from his horse. Now arches and close trees where a bronze horseman awaits. Is that this? Yeah, that's where it is. That one's an easy one.
Ton humeur.
Je parie qu'il va se rompre le cou.
Get over here, you runt! I've got a bloody message for you!
Okay. Let's go do this murder mystery next. Sorry, just a second.
Come here!
Ma parole.
Quel aventurier!
Alright, it's been a while since we've done one of these. We have a woman, Valerie Duclos, in her 40s, extremely well dressed in an old-fashioned of the monarchy, face contorted into a horrible expression, no indication of physical violence. Hot chocolate to die for. We have an overturned cup, porcelain cup with a Japanese style design, appears to have held hot chocolate.
What are you doing here? This is a private tragedy. If you must know, I am Amélie Mauvoisin. This was my elder sister, Valérie Duclos. I refuse to believe that Georges poisoned her, even after what she said. Valérie and I were quite close, but I must say, she was simply dreadful the entire evening, drinking too much, insulting everyone. The worst was when she announced she planned to denounce Georges to the Committee of Public Safety.
I maintain garden with various flowers, foxgloves, belladonna, and others that are fatal when ingested. A woman's ring discarded in the shrubbery. Upon closer inspection, one pearl is revealed to be a removable stopper for a tiny hidden vial. The vial is an empty save for a drop of sticky, clear, odorless liquid. Okay, is there other locations that I need to go search? I mean, otherwise it's you. Getting rid of that message in the chat. Okay, so... I mean, is there anywhere else we're supposed to go? Clue locations visited. 1 out of 5.
Nous sommes d'accord.
Okay, well, where's another clue location? I just don't know what the clue locations are. Doesn't say. Here's some more. Okay.
Never liked her. Never. Even when her husband, rest his soul, was alive. He was a true gentleman, he was. Mr. George was his friend. Used to come by for meals and eat and eat. Pity he'll be getting the chop. But Madame spent her day lording it over poor Miss Amélie and yelling at Master Pierre. Who knows what Miss'll do now? Not having a penny to her name and not likely to find a husband at her age.
Large stoneware pestle mortar used for crushing herbs in the garden. Okay. A large earthenware jug, remains of a thick cocoa paste. Also the jar containing finely mixed cocoa. Okay. Do a good job telling me where I need to go though for here.
Nothing from me, you mongrels!
You know, for clues, that is. I'm not really sure where I'm supposed to be going. Since there's 3 more clue locations here somewhere. Oh goodness. Garden, dining room, kitchen, study, terrace. So they must all be around here.
Je parie qu'il avale.
Alright, well, how about up here?
I'm so sorry, Pierre. She was difficult, Georges, but she was my mother.
I promised your father I'd watch over your family, and look how I failed.
My mother was often difficult, and she was particularly nasty this evening. I suspect it had to do with a letter she received earlier in the day. In any case, she became angrier and angrier until she finally stormed out into the garden. I told Lucille to take her a calming cup of hot chocolate, but Aunt Amélie, fearing Lucille would upset Mother even further, took the cup away. Mother's always been unhappy that I inherited most of Father's wealth, and she often accused Lucille of wanting only my money. But that's all over now, isn't it? Lucille and I can marry at last.
Okay. You gonna let me get a statement?
Yes, she threatened me. She made baseless threats at every dinner party. But she was getting angrier and angrier. So I repaired to the terrace with my brandy. On my way back down, I encountered Amélie. She sent me out to the garden to calm her sister with some hot chocolate.
Elegant snuff box with GVS. Okay. Dining room snuff box. Ornate silver pot on tray. Bears Japanese design filled with cocoa and contains dregs. This is the study. It's a new location. Notable events in Paris society. The page is marked detailing Lavoisin's poisoning in the previous century. Seems one of Catherine de Chain's and her daughter. Okay. Go away. Commonplace book. An old book bearing the name Lavoisin on the cover. Inside, marked passage reads, I obtained this recipe from a close friend, who in turn obtained it from a relation who is reputed to have received it from a certain Italian gentleman, proving its authenticity. It produces a liquid devoid of color, smell, or taste that demonstrates the desired result within mere minutes. I have sought the secret I am about to divulge. Guard it well. The passage continues, involving a process with arsenic, belladonna leaves, and lead powder reduced to form a clear, odorless liquid. There are marginal notes made in several hands in faded ink. And then we have a document here. The safe contains an ancient document. It has been thrown loosely on top of others. My mother, through her business, amassed a considerable personal fortune before her death, which she left entirely to me, her eldest daughter. To honor her, I declared a legacy to be passed to the eldest surviving female of my line, born of the name Monvoisin. The wealth is held in trust, with the income befitting my heir directly. As one heir dies, it passes to her eldest daughter, or if none, her eldest sister, or if none, her eldest female relation. In addition, the heir must take ownership of my mother's commonplace book and her collection of glass rings and necklaces, the judicious use of which is essential to the success of the enterprise. Indeed, that these items represent is more powerful than any wealth. I declare these to be my wishes upon my death. Okay. So that's the will. Crumpled letter. Appears to be from a legal firm, Mademoiselle Duclos. I myself was witness to the signing of your late husband's last will and testament only a few months before his death. He left the sum to be managed by his friend George Sigonzac, with the bulk of the estate to go over to your son Pierre. We discussed the matter over cognac, and he seems most reasonable. Madam, I would thank you to not call into question my thoroughness and professionalism. Neither your husband nor Mr. Villiers Sigonzac disclosed the document you have brought to light. I prefer to think they were unaware of its existence. Regardless, the document appears to be genuine and gives you an undisputed claim to the assets. There is, however, one obstacle to your stated desire to take immediate and direct control of the inheritance. The law dictates that women may not manage their own financial affairs. Therefore, Monsieur George Villiers-Sigonzac continues to hold complete authority over the entire fortune, despite the fact that the assets have always belonged directly to you and never to your husband. As long as Mr. Villiers-Sigonzac is active, your husband will dictate that he, and not yourself, stands to be the one who controls the fortune. Please accept my most sincere regards and esteem. Okay. There's a letter over here. A note, apparently to Pierre from his mother, Valerie, left on the table. My son, I write to caution and admonish you as to your conduct. I appreciate that since the death of your father, you have enjoyed considerable financial freedom due to his foolishly generous bequest as regards yourself, whereas I have made do with a pittance. Your Aunt Emily recently discovered a document that makes it quite clear that it is I who have obtained the control of my family's fortune upon your death of your father, despite the ludicrous claims of your doddering executor who squanders our money in his foolish business dealings in the Orient. You simply must quell your extravagances, especially in regards to the vulture-like women you consort with, in view of the fact that I will shortly obtain control of the entire inheritance. Whatever debts you have incurred will thereupon be yours and yours only. Don't delude yourself that Amelie will come to your rescue, despite the fact that you have been foolishly generous to her. The money comes to me. She will have a small maintenance and can continue to wear mother's worthless jewelry. She does not understand the value of money, and less of it better for her. Okay, and then there's a terrace with a woman. Not entirely. It's the terrace upstairs.
We got along very well. Oh, she was a bit concerned about her son being younger than me, I suppose. But I've known her since before her husband died. Poor man took ill and asphyxiated. Shame. He did manage to put Georges in charge of the family finances. My, that made Valérie furious. Very amusing. Tonight she seemed especially angry. She's never threatened Georges with execution before. Oh well, takes all kinds.
So I think that's everything. Seems that someone... So, Amelie is poor. And she says that she threatened Georges. George is in charge of the family finances. So it looks like it's wanting to. The thing says it's going to pass to the fortune passes to women in the family, and she only has a son. And this one here marks a poisoning where it was a poisoning. So this is the son. Gave a cup to Lucille, but Amelie took it away. So Amelie had the means. I think that's who we are going to accuse. She's poor. She had the means to put the poison in.
If you must know, I am Amélie Mauvoisin. This was my elder sister, Valérie Duclos. Damn you! Interfering where you're not wanted. Valérie didn't deserve that money. I did much more for the honor of the family. She was nothing but a vile, hectoring drunk.
Yeah, I figured that one out. People always murder for money.
You. If I were you, I'd be careful what I drank.
I love a hot chocolate myself. I believe I'll have one now. Meanwhile, see if there's something you want.
Good deal.
Follow up on what you found. You'll get there.
So, case summary says, once the reward disappears there. Oh my gosh. I wanted to read the Lavoisin poisonings is in here as events. Catherine de Shays Lavoisin, 1640-1680, began her career as a fortune teller, but quickly expanded her services to help make her clients' fortunes come true. Indulging in both alchemy and black masses, she concocted a particularly subtle and effective poison that had no smell and left no trace. She employed it using an array of trick jewelry built with hidden compartments. Catherine had no love for her husband, nor son for that matter, and was said to have attempted or at least plotted to poison him. Must have been a relaxing home to grow up in. Her daughter, Marguerite Mavosin, on the other hand, seems to have joined Catherine's plots, the most famous of which is a series of scandals known as the Affair of the Poisons. According to certain information collected by the authorities tasked with unmasking the conspiracy, Lavoisin and a certain Madame de Montespan, once the king's official mistress, plotted against King Louis XIV. Lavoisin was convicted of the conspiracy, and on February 22nd, 1680, she was condemned to death and burned at the Place des Grèves in Paris. Her daughter survived to carry on the family traditions. What an inspiring story of hope against the odds. And so, the case summary says Valerie Duclos, Nevoisin, was poisoned by her younger sister Emilie, who wanted the inheritance to inherit their ancestors' fortune and gain independence. The crime revolved around an old legacy created by Marguerite Mavosin, whose fortune, likely earned through the use and sale of exotic poisons, is passed down to the eldest surviving female of that line. Valerie, as the eldest, had inherited the fortune, but her husband, whose death also raises questions, wrote a conflicting will. It was this will that put the money out of Valerie's hands, declaring family friend Georges Villiers-Gonzac as the executor and her son Pierre Duclos as the sole trustee. Valerie received the lawyer's assurances that the entire fortune did in fact belong to her, but with the qualification that as long as Georges Villiers-Gonzac was active, she would not enjoy control of it. It is for this reason that Valerie was especially angry on this night, and also for this reason that the notion of denouncing George to the Committee of Public Safety, thereby removing him from the equation, came into her head. However, her younger sister Emilie, without an income of her own and dependent on her relations, realized that if Valerie died, the money would come to her as the next female in line. Using a recipe inherited by Valerie, Emilie concocted the powerful poison, which she stored in a poisoned ring, also inherited. On this particular evening, the victim threatened to denounce George. Emilie saw the incredible opportunity of removing her sister while leaving the hapless George as the obvious culprit. She secretly poisoned Valerie's cocoa, then gave the cup to George and discarded her ring in the garden. Alright, let's go pick up our money over here again.
Another glorious day in Paris, eh?
Alright, what are we looking at money-wise? I don't think we have enough yet to get the hood we wanted. Oh, I can't even get the hood anyways because it's not unlocked. So we're gonna go for the phantom stuff though. could get these bracers. Could also get these breeches. Is it the chest that gives us the big reduction? Yeah, it looks like it does. It's also the most expensive piece. High profile noise, takedown noise. Pretty nice. I think we'll wait for the chest piece. We're so close to being able to get it anyways. That takes care of this district except for the Austrian Conspiracy, which I can't even play yet. Because you have to do them in order, I think. Or maybe I need to go further in order to do them. I can play it there. Odd that it hasn't grayed out from here. So I think that we're going to end this episode here. When we come back, we'll go to the Venture de Paris and get the stuff here. We have a lot to do because we have 3 social club missions also to do here, as well as the sewer rat. And I mean, we have a lot of stuff in this little section to do, which is good. It'll keep us busy. All right, well, this is where we're going to end the episode. How many chests do I have revealed here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I still have to find 4 more. All right, well, this is where we're going to end our episode for today. We do hope you all enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.